Alright folks, welcome to this episode. I've come to a spot in this video that I've not been to for a long time. Last time I came down here was the episode I got a tick on my coat and I freaked out and I left the location altogether, but there'll be less ticks around at this time of year, or none. But anyway, let's get the video started. Look at the patina on this old gate here. It's got a cool look to it. This bit here I'm walking on is the old rail track, and there used to be, the railway came along there where the wee Honda's sitting. Old steam trains would have been fleeing along here over this cool old bridge, which for a way to have a look at. I've not been here for so long. It's cool just to hear walk about places like this, exploring folks. We're trying to stay local because of the whole COVID thing, so it's cool to check out wee local spots like this. Last time I came down here it was so like overgrown, it's crazy to see the difference. The river's quite high. The old girder is so cool running across there, it's absolutely massive. It's like a 200-metre stretch from here to the other side of the river. National Trust for Scotland folks, look at that. Oh, we're at post S here. The river water's quite brown today. The river's flowing so fast today, it's so cool. It looks like it's been even higher recently, like there's tons of debris stuck in the tree there. This must have been insane when the river was high. Under the bridge folks, look at the side of this, they've got like gussets there for strength. This must have been the business end of the girder here. It has been painted. Wonder if that's a British Railway colour. Exploring history once again here folks. Look at the size of the rivets. It's so sad that all this old British Railway history is lost. Okay, and there was massive bridges, all different sorts, up and down the country, and now most of them just relics and ruins like this one. Think of the labour and the manpower that went into building all this, like. I love exploring spots like this folks. Imagine the history of the trains rattling over here. And people would have been looking at the train windy, seeing the high river. Oh, I can see it swirling. There's the normal ground height there, that's like the actual side of the river when the river's low. So it's not advised that anybody comes here, like, because it's the fence and everything's around here. Look at the water swirling down here. What is that down there? Look, there's something in the water, a cast iron bit there. Has that been, what has that been? Something to do with the train bridge? I can't remember seeing that the last time. If it's a cast iron bit though, I kinda also think it would have been washed down the river. Real adventures here once again, folks, on the channel. Look at that, what's that cast iron thing there? Oh, look, it's just a bar. It's almost like an old bit of railing or something like that. Look at these old rungs here in the stone. Metal rungs leading up there. The old railway workers of the bygone era would have been climbing up and down there doing maintenance. Look at the water flowing around there, that's crazy. Oh, there's geese flying over. At this time of year, folks, the Canadian geese are flying south for the winter. They're flying away. If we remember back to the Montrose Reservoir video, we found out that they were Canadian geese. Look at that, there's whole trees washed up there. Normally these trees are like the edge of the river, I think. Or maybe no. There's like a little measuring gauge in the water there. Looks like the river's been flowing at this side of the bridge here, which is crazy. All that grass there is flattened. There must have been a fair river here. This is where the old ladder used to go down. That used to be a cool little spot down there. I think the first time I came here there was another ladder, and I think potentially that other ladder's gone now. The stones have been built with like a cement kind of layer on top of them to protect them. Most of them still standing. I think a lot of the stones lying around the area, and I think that's potentially just ones that's like fallen off when they've been dismantling the bridge. There's such a quantity of water blowing it, it's crazy. This is where the biggest quantity of the river water is. Look at it, it's all washing at that corner. See, when you're sitting there, it feels like you're on the front of a boat. The way the water's hitting that, it's just breaking there. That's crazy, like. It's been so long since I've come across this. It's a cool little spot here, just looking at the river. Like, I can't believe how like ruined it is now. That's how it's not advised for anyone to come across here, really. Like, I come here to get the shots, folks. The fence is totally gone. Like, if you fell in that water, you'd be dead. Cold Scottish wind blowing through. We'll go and see what else we can see here. The water's brown with the peat. The peat for the hills has been washed out with that rain that we've had. The amount of metal work, like, it's amazing. Tons and tons of metal, even in that one beam. The original bridge must have had a crazy, like, amount of metal in it. Sometimes on the old beams it's written on where they came from. I should try and have a wee look for that before I go off the end of the bridge. I'm not seeing it, folks. I was looking to see if I could see the name of the metal, the name of the steel foundry. I was sure it was written on that at some point, like I'm sure I've seen it on that bridge. The paint under this other bit of this other section here, the paint is far more intact. It's almost like a khaki green. Wonder if it's been painted with some sort of surplus paint after the war. It's like the colour that a ship would have been painted. It's cool to see that. I've never noticed that with the paint on there before. Look at this, there's probably eels and all sorts of stuff kicking about in there. The moss is starting to grow over this bit here now that there's nobody walking on it. It's so cool that nowadays it's just weathered. It's just the weather that takes its toll on it every year. Bits of the stone will be chipping off. The weeds will be growing up through it, pushing the bricks apart. There's trees somewhere else though. Look at the way that's growing there with all those individual bits. Look, this is the path I was on that day when I got the tick on my coat. Look at this, folks, this is a cool angle of the bridge here. Look, there's bits of stone lying here. That's proper stone from a wall. Wonder if there was like a wee signal box or something at one time near the rail line. The water's swirling here, that's crazy. Look at that, there's a whole tree in the middle of the river there. I'm not sure how far this path goes, but I'm definitely going to have to go down this path on a separate video, folks. It looks like it continues on down by the river. Right, folks, I'll end this video here. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one very soon.